a lot of big emotional expectation on this manifestation, when in reality, when you have an abundance of something, your energy is more so confident and content as opposed to excited and overly enthusiastic. Taking the time to settle, be present, and dedicate our energy to this moment. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique Davis, also known as Brown and Bindi. Every Sunday here on the channel, we do a lesson as well as discuss affirmations and a meditation. So let's just jump right into it. Last week's affirmation was, I release all resistance. And I don't know how you guys did, but it was an affirmation that was sorely needed for me because I tend to hold a lot of anxiety in my body. So by rehearsing this affirmation and keeping it in the forefront of my mind throughout the week, I was able to really check in with how often I physically resist whatever's going on in my reality. So if you had any problems with the affirmation, I release all resistance, next time you choose to incorporate this affirmation into your life, just see if you're holding any tension in your shoulders, if you're holding any tension in your jaw, if you feel a little bit of sensation behind your eyes and the muscles in your forehead. And when in daily life, just try to relax that. That is the lesson that I learned. It's amazing how many things we actually resist. I think a lot of us feel like maybe we say, no, I don't want that, to the big things, but very, very, very small things we can even resist. Like if we go to pick up food and they don't give us a straw, like let's say we're still in the parking lot of the restaurant, sometimes not having the straw in the bag, even though we're still at the restaurant, can trigger like this reaction where it doesn't really have a lot to do with the straw. It more so has to do with the fact that something out of our control is happening, and bringing awareness to that is really, really powerful, because when we start to have these emotional reactions to small things, it's connected to something deeper. But by practicing releasing that tension, releasing that resistance, we bypass having to psychoanalyze ourselves and see where all the emotion is coming from, and instead we learn to cohabitate. We choose to understand the emotion even more while not letting the emotion control how we act or how we feel, like how long we hold on to the emotion. So I release all resistance was an amazing affirmation for me, and I will be adding it to my daily affirmations. Today's affirmation is, I enjoy abundance in all areas of my life. I had to remember. So like I said last video, every affirmation we use is going to build upon one another. The first one was, I attract all that is good. The second one was, I release resistance. So now we're moving into a little more of a difficult affirmation, and I hate to put that label on it, but let's be real. Abundance is a energy that a lot of us have difficulty feeling in our bodies. And we're going to talk about that today, and how to really embody the feeling of abundance by understanding what abundance is. And to make sure that we're practicing reminding ourselves what this feeling is, we're going to practice the affirmation, I enjoy abundance in every area of life. Now remember, as you say this affirmation over and over, depending on where you are on your journey, thoughts may come up. Thoughts may come up that say, what are you talking about? This makes no sense. Why are you lying? And that's when we revert back to last week's affirmation, I release all resistance, okay? Because remember, our reality is created off of our beliefs, off of our belief system. And in order to change our beliefs, we have to practice repetition. So a lot of the beliefs that we incorporate, we won't believe yet. We have to keep repeating them, keep bringing them up, and keep working through the thoughts that the affirmation may trigger. So let's go ahead and say the affirmation together 3 times. I enjoy abundance in every area of my life. I enjoy abundance in every area of my life. I enjoy abundance in every area of my life. Feels so good. Feels so good. Okay. I hope that you enjoyed this portion of the video. Let's go ahead and get to today's lesson. Happy Sunday, my reality benders. Welcome to another lesson. Today's lesson is going to be about abundance. Abundance is something that we will be talking about a lot during these Sunday lessons because I feel like it's a part of my life purpose to articulate something that I call the freedom vibration. And to do this, you need to understand how to let in certain energies, including peace, contentment, gratitude, and abundance, and others, but those are the most important ones. So abundance and the energy of abundance is very, 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 very important to me because if a person's not able to let abundance into their life, it's probably because of how they see themselves or how, again, our belief system, how a event in their past has conditioned them to see the world. Abundance. So important. But before we get to today's lesson, let's just really quickly review what we did last week. As you know, we have a group on Facebook called the Manifestation Yoga Collective. In this group, we ask questions, we bond, we fellowship over law of attraction, and we even give advice if we feel called to. So if this sounds like something that you would be a part of, make sure that you join this group. Another awesome thing about being in the group is that every week I upload a PDF right before I upload this video to YouTube. That way, if you would like to work on a worksheet while watching the video in order to deepen your understanding of the topics that we're talking about, that's an option that's available to you. Now, you do not have to do this. It is not homework. And if you do it, you do not have to share your answers on Facebook. You can do it just for you. I strongly recommend it, and I also challenge you to notice if your brain's like, I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that. I know all the answers already, because that just might be resistance. Hey, I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger, okay? So really quickly, let's talk about last week's worksheet. Funny enough, the theme of last week was releasing resistance and understanding the significance of one's journey so that when life events happen, instead of trying to control the situation, we can surrender and see what the situation is trying to teach us. So that's what last week was about. The first question on the worksheet is true or false. We are supposed to focus on the manifestation of desires above all else in our life. This member's name is Murano, and the way she answered the first question was false. Manifestations are just points in our long life. Between our manifestation lies our life where we learn many lessons. We cannot live waiting for our manifestations. I've done it once, like waiting for the manifestation to occur, and it actually became unbearable to live. We don't wait for our manifestation when we know that we are cultivating the correct energy. This allows us to live with joy and gratitude for the life that we have been gifted with. The second question on the worksheet is, how do negative experiences help us mold our desired reality? And the way that Morona answered was, when we experience something negative, we need to remember that everything is an opportunity to learn more about ourselves. Everything we experience is specifically meant for us so that we can evolve on our journeys. From a negative situation, we can learn what we don't want in our life.
just hit my mic. Sorry. From a negative situation, we can learn what we don't want in our life to look like and say to ourselves, not for me, no thank you. This gives us an ability to create a new version of ourselves. It's like quantum jumping from victim mentality to what is the situation teaching me and becoming a victor. Sorry, I get way too excited, but you guys are just awesome. You guys are, it's not just that you're smart, because this stuff is not just about being smart. There's a certain level of open-mindedness that you have to have in order to delve into these concepts. And the way that you, as a community, show me you understand better than me, it's just beautiful. And I hope that we can continue to grow together and share answers together, because you guys, the way that you answer these questions are so different than the way that I would answer them. So let's just continue to help each other grow. Desna dropped out of law school when she was 25 while working a difficult minimum wage job. She meets a like-minded friend. Desna and her friends start a successful nonprofit that gives value to the world and allows Desna to live an abundant and comfortable life. Desna still feels the shame of dropping out on a daily basis. What perspective shift could you offer to modify Desna's perspective? And what I was looking for in this answer was, again, the theme of last week. A friend or someone close to Desna could tell her that her experience as a lawyer or her experience pursuing a law degree could have prepared her for her nonprofit, first of all. Second of all, dropping out of that program and getting her minimum wage job is how she met her partner. So I try to give you guys an example where you can see how something so devastating like dropping out of school can still turn into a stepping stone for something bigger. Okay, review is over. Let's talk about abundance. I'm so excited. So before we talk about what abundance is, let's talk about what abundance is not. I have been making law of attraction videos for 3 years, and I've been in the law of attraction community for 3 years, reading my peers' comment sections so that I can understand what questions people have about all of this funky stuff that we choose to learn about. And one thing that I constantly see is I've been trying to manifest this. It's all I think about. It's all I do. And I cannot seem to pull this event or this person or this material thing into my reality. But it's all I think about. And I just want to be abundant, but I don't know how to let abundance in. I want to start this section off by saying that abundance is not scarcity mindset. So whenever you find yourself acting with scarcity mindset, you are doing the opposite of what serves you if you are looking to attract abundance into your reality. Considering law of attraction, we have to remember that our thoughts create our vibration, and our vibration determines what we bring into our reality. So there is my favorite. Okay, it's not my favorite. Everything she says is my favorite. One of my favorite Abraham Hicks quotes is, "The universe is not your mother. The universe does not want to do what's best for you. It's not planning your life and telling you, okay, this is what you do to get what you want." Now, of course, we have life journeys and the steps we have to take, but I think that that's more so karma and the lives of our ancestors, but that's a whole different video for a whole nother day and maybe a whole different channel. Considering the universe and energy as a whole, it's not your mother. It's not trying to force you to have a good life. The universe is instead just giving you more of what it thinks you want. And the universe thinks you want what you think about. So if you are walking around constantly noticing the things you lack, constantly holding feelings of lack within your body, the universe is going to be like, hey, that's what makes you happy? I have plenty more of that. And I just think that it's ironic because we're going to get to this in a second. But in my opinion, there's no such thing as lack. Lack is a concept that we've made when we want to have victim mentality. But in reality, if something exists, it cannot not exist. So we chose to perceive the very thing that we are saying we lack. We chose to perceive it as not enough. That was our perception. We chose to think that way. But in reality, with an unemotional lens, there's not really any such thing as lack, only abundance. Because if something exists, it already exists. The really frustrating thing about scarcity mindset is that it can be very, very sneaky. And when you focus on lack, you're just creating more of it. Even if you feel like you're being proactive, even if you feel like you're trying to problem solve, if the focus of your thoughts is on what you don't have, you are just creating more. Now, if you want to look at this from a universe perspective or just from a common sense perspective, that is up to you. From a common sense perspective, let's say that you are the type of person who constantly complains about not having enough time. I don't have enough time to get to work. I don't have enough time when I get off of work to relax. I don't have enough time to spend with my friends. I don't have enough time to spend with my romantic partner. I just never have enough time. If this is your mindset, then it's very, very likely that you spend a lot of mental time in chaos, because your story is that you never have enough time to breathe. You never have enough time to settle. So your story is chaotic. Now, the ironic thing about that is a person who tells themselves, I don't have enough time, is probably not going to find the time to sit down and say, how am I using my energy on a daily basis, and does it serve me? Because a person who doesn't have enough time needs to do that first and foremost. Because if a person feels like they don't have enough time, they have to look at how they are spending the time that they have and see if they're using that time in a way that serves. If not, they can reprioritize, and all of a sudden, because I was really on a roll there. After reprioritizing, this person can realize that they do have time to do the things that they want, and that can bring feelings of abundance. But because that person is already stuck in scarcity mindset, that might seem like an impossible feat. Let's talk about it. What is abundance? A lot. Overflow. So much. That's really the only way that I can explain what abundance is. Abundance is simply having a lot of something, so much that you can barely even count it or measure it because there's so much of it. The way that I like to get abundance in my body, to feel the vibration of it, is to notice what is around me that I am abundant in. For example, right now, an abundance of oxygen is in my home, in my neighborhood. I can see a whole forest outside. So there is an abundance of trees outside of my window, so many. And what I will choose to do is to focus on how many trees there are and let myself become overwhelmed by how many trees there are. That is how I get the feeling, the energy of abundance into my body, just so I can remind myself what it feels like for there to be so much. The next step is comparing feelings of abundance to feelings of scarcity. So you can feel abundance in your body in so many different ways. You can choose to focus on the abundance of oxygen. You can focus on the abundance of trees. One really cool thing that I learned from Ella Ringrose is to look around wherever you are and think of the monetary value of the items that you see. Because a lot of times we like to think that we are so broke, we're so financially scarce, and we need money so badly, but we forget about all the things that we've bought in our lives. So something that we can do is we can look at all of the things that we have and think of the monetary value of those things and see the abundance in the monetary value of the things that we already have to get that abundance feeling into our bodies. Now, when you start to learn what that feels like, you can compare that feeling to what you want to bring more of into your reality. Because if you're looking to bring more of something into your reality, you haven't mastered bringing an energy of abundance to that very thing. The three things that I feel like we should talk about when it comes to scarcity mindset and abundance mindset are love, personal power, and finances. These are the three sections that I think people have the most difficulty with. A lot of people seem to master one, but not all of these components of life. So when feeling abundance in your body, looking at the trees, seeing how much, realizing that it's never ending, realizing how vast this earth is, realizing that this is just one plot of land with trees, but there are trees all over the city, there are trees all over the state, there are trees all over this country, there are trees all over this earth. So much abundance. And then let's take it over to, let's say that I'm a person looking for a relationship. So I think about love in my life. And I think, do I have that same feeling of expansion and vastness when it comes to the love that I feel in my life? And I see that there is an energetic difference. That is where we want to focus when learning how to bring abundance into different parts of our reality. The very first thing that I want to say, because I see this a lot on my channel, especially with scripting, is when working on bringing abundance into your reality, you will be happy. You will be happy when you learn how to be abundant with money, be abundant with love, be abundant with personal power. But the funny thing about abundance is when you're abundant with something, it is not a forced emotion. So a lot of things that I see are people saying, oh, when I have this much money, I'm going to be so excited and I'm going to be so happy and everything's going to be so perfect. It's a lot of big emotional expectation on this manifestation, when in reality, when you have an abundance of something, your energy is more so confident and content as opposed to excited and overly enthusiastic. Okay, so now that we know all this, we can really get to the next level of widening our widening? We can get to the next level of deepening our understanding of abundance mindset. So the next step to expanding abundance in any part of your life is by becoming a thought monitor. We know how abundance feels in our body. You have identified what you have an abundance of in your life. You've identified it. So now you know how it feels to say, I have so many trees in my reality. I have so much oxygen in my reality, or whatever you choose, right? So you know what it feels like to have abundance, the energy of abundance in your body. Now the next step to that is monitoring your thoughts, because when we're trying to manifest something, when we desire something, we think about that thing often because that thing is important to us and our journey. The magic is to monitor what our brain does when we think about that specific thing. We must identify thoughts of scarcity and replace those thoughts with thoughts of gratitude, and those thoughts of gratitude will flower into thoughts of abundance. But the first part is changing thoughts of scarcity to thoughts of gratitude. So first, let's talk about having a scarcity mindset in love. Let's say that you have a crush and you want to be with this person so badly, but because you are not in a relationship with them, you feel like you're missing out so much, and often that leads to you feeling like a victim because you just want somebody to love, you just want someone to share with, and they don't see it. They don't see that in you, and that's frustrating and it bums you out, right? We've all been there, very easy to feel. When you think about your desired person, when you think about your desired relationship, notice what your brain does when you think about that person. When the thoughts come up that say, my relationship with them isn't deep enough, my relationship with them isn't what I want, I don't like being single, I don't like them not noticing me. When all of these thoughts of what you don't want come up, learn how to switch those thoughts to thoughts of gratitude. Okay, the very first thing, I am grateful that a person that is cool enough for me to be romantically interested in exists. I am grateful that I have a relationship with this person as a friend. I'm grateful that I can get to know them and see them and love them as a person who just exists. Finding gratitude for the fact that that person is even alive, finding gratitude for your relationship with that person, even though it's not where you want it to be yet, is how you turn the energy of that relationship from scarce in love to abundant in love. But that starts with you being grateful for that person instead of having such a huge expectation on what the relationship is supposed to be. And because of that expectation, you have taken the beauty out of the relationship, not the other person. So next, let's talk about switching to a abundance mindset when it comes to money. I'm going to use the same example I did before. So with money, we can think about it and we can say, I don't have enough. My bills are due. I am always looking for more money. I hate this hustle mentality. I hate hustling. I just want to be abundant. Those are the thoughts that come up when you think about money. That's when we got to flip the script and think about thoughts of gratitude. I am grateful for the fact that I've always had enough money. I am grateful for all of the possessions I have in my home that amount to whatever amount of money. I am grateful for every time that I've gotten paid. Think about every time you've gotten paid in your life. Abundance, right? And last but not least, but ironically most important, let's talk about scarcity mindset when it comes to personal power. You identify scarcity mindset when it comes to personal power by turning inward and listening to your thoughts when it comes to how you think about yourself, especially in moments of conflict. If your thoughts tend to be, I'm not good enough, I wish I was more like this, I wish I had more of this, I wish I could change my name, I wish I could change myself in this way. Noticing everything you don't have, right? Flipping that into thoughts of gratitude about yourself. I know. Everyone hates to hear that part. Becoming self-aware and being kind to yourself is the way to flip into an abundance of personal power. I am so strong. I am so beautiful. I have an abundance of kindness in my soul. I have an abundance of life experience. You know, some of us who have had tumultuous lives, you know, have a lot of experience that we've grown from, that we've learned from. We have an abundance of life experience, and that is not a bad thing. We have an abundance of certain qualities within us, but when we sleep on these qualities, when we choose to focus on what we do not have, that lowers our sense of self-worth and makes us separate from our own sense of personal power. So to undo that, we can focus on the abundance of what we do have, because every single spirit on this planet has an abundance of so many things within them. One must focus on that within themselves in order to thrive. Abundance is our natural state. Okay? So abundance is our birthright. We were put here to be abundant. If you are not experiencing abundance in a specific part of your life, you are resisting it in some way or some form. Our natural state is abundance. Okay? So in order to continue to monitor your thoughts, to monitor yourself as you learn to become abundant in different areas of your life, I challenge you to monitor your physicality. Abundance is ease. When you're in states of abundance, your body is relaxed. When you get a check that is worth way more than how much you owe for rent, you are relaxed, you are confident, you are content, because you know that you're going to pay rent and have some left over, right? But when you shift to scarcity mindset, the body gets tense, the body gets tight, you become anxious. So the last question I have to ask you is, how does your body feel when you think about your desire? If you find that thinking about your desire makes you anxious, makes you want to tense your shoulders up, and you start feeling butterflies in your stomach, you can start the abundance process from the outside and work your way in. If you start to become tense, resort to the breath. We have a meditation coming up, don't you worry. But let's say that you're not in the place to listen to a meditation and you just want to practice on your own exactly where you are. Just resort to the breath. Breathe. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth, making sure that you release any tension from the jaw, from the shoulders, and from the muscles in the stomach when you're thinking about that desired thing. That will teach you to develop a state of ease when it comes to your desire, even if subconsciously you haven't learned to believe that you can be abundant in that area of life yet. Yeah. So that is my lesson on abundance today. I hope that you enjoyed it, because I enjoyed making it. And yeah, let's get to this meditation. Find a comfortable seat. Settle in. Lower the eyes to the earth, or if you're comfortable, close your eyes. Turning inward, opening the mind, the body, and the spirit to your internal world. This is where the magic happens. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Sealing the lips now. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And as you inhale, making sure that we're opening our heart, breathing into our heart space. And as you exhale, emptying the belly completely. Let's take 4 deep breaths together. Settling into your seat. Feel the top of your head. Bring your awareness to your scalp and relax the skin on your head. Relax the muscles in the forehead and feel this calm, warm energy travel down, relaxing the muscles behind the eyes, relaxing the muscles in the face, removing the tongue from behind the teeth and instead relaxing the tongue in the mouth, letting the jaw relax. Feeling that warm, peaceful energy spread all the way down to the neck, through the shoulders, feeling the shoulders become heavy now. Staying with the breath. Relaxing the arms, relaxing the hands, feeling effortless as the inhalations allow your ribcage to expand, and as the exhalations contract the ribcage. Releasing any tension from the muscles in the belly. Letting the hips relax, letting the legs relax. Finally, feeling that warm energy that started all the way at the top of your head, that swam all the way down, feeling that same energy release out through your feet. Feeling this warm, peaceful energy swirl throughout your being, swirling throughout your head, swirling throughout your chest, your arms, your hips, your legs, and your feet. Staying with the breath, inhaling and exhaling. And seeing if you can allow every exhalation to take you a little bit deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Sink deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper. Releasing any tension. Letting the body relax. And if any thoughts try to knock on the door and say, hey, I'd like your attention, remember that you have the time to think about these thoughts later. You can always come back to them, but right now, right here, we are taking time for ourselves. Continue to connect to the breath. Continue to connect to stillness. Feeling the present moment. Realizing the magnificence of this universe that we inhabit. Knowing at the core of your being that you chose to come here and experience endless abundance. Abundance, that is your birthright. Reminding ourselves that there is no such thing as lack. There is no such thing as limitation, only how we choose to perceive our resources. Begin to visualize all the abundance that this life, this planet has to offer. See the abundance of food offered to us on this planet. See the abundance of water, the water that we drink, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes. See the abundance of the trees that we get our oxygen from, our very life force. See the abundance. See all of the trees in your mind. And feel that sureness in your heart, that knowing in your heart that there is enough. And there will always be enough, because that is the design. This earth, this universe is limitless and ever expanding. It is the natural way. And it is your natural way to be ever expanding. Abundance is constantly on its way to you. Abundance is constantly on its way to me. I choose to release all resistance to the abundance that is meant for me. Visualize now all the money in this world, all of it. Visualize each dollar that it took to build the building you're in now. Visualize each dollar that it took to create all of the cars that you hear outside. Visualize all the money it took to come up with the technology for the phone or the computer that you are listening to this on, and remind yourself once again that there is only abundance. There is no limitation. There is enough of everything for everyone. There is enough love. There is enough time. There is enough health. There is enough energy. There is enough money. We lack nothing. Allow abundance into your life by believing the abundance exists, knowing that it is on its way to you. Release the resistance. As we recite this week's affirmation together, practice identifying anywhere in your body that may tense up because of your subconscious beliefs. Stay aware. And as we say this affirmation, continue to relax. Continue to let the body sink deeper into this place of trust and this place of safety. As you feel this affirmation become true for you. I enjoy abundance in every area of my life. I enjoy abundance in every area of my life. I enjoy abundance in every area of my life. I enjoy abundance in every area of my life. I am so lucky. I am so lucky. I am so blessed. I enjoy abundance in every area of my life. It always comes through. It's always on its way to me. And I release anything in my body and in my mind that tries to convince me otherwise. I enjoy abundance in every area of my life. Abundance flows to me like a river. I am wealthy. I am wealthy. I am wealthy in love. I am wealthy in time. I am wealthy in energy. I am wealthy in health. I am wealthy in my finances. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I enjoy abundance in every area of my life. Thank you. Five, becoming more aware of yourself inside of your vessel, becoming more aware of your physicality, your body, coming back to our shared external experience. 4, beginning to monitor the breath, starting to breathe at a normal pace. 3, wiggling the fingers. 2, wiggling the toes. Maybe taking a shoulder roll, one backwards, one forward. 1, slowly opening the eyes, still keeping the gaze low, and when you're ready, lifting the gaze, taking in the room around you, and observing your abundant reality. So much love in my heart
for you. Enjoy this week. Enjoy the abundance. I'll see you next time.